What's up, you guys? Michael Elefante here. My wife and I broke free of the rat race at a fairly young age, 27 and 26 years old to be exact, and we grew our net worth from $0 to over $2 million in just a few short years. In this video, I'm gonna break down exactly how we did this and share some helpful tips that may allow you to also reach financial freedom at a young age. If you appreciate this video, it would mean so much to me if you could just hit that little like button down here and also subscribe to my channel if you find value in this content. Okay, let me paint a little background to this story. I was an athlete growing up. My life revolved around sports. I played baseball through high school and then through college, and that was a true passion of mine and honestly all I wanted to do. And school was really more of a secondary thought for me, and then work life after my baseball career was really an afterthought. I wanted to play baseball professionally, but after having several injuries through college and a couple up and down seasons, that dream didn't quite pan out the way I wanted it to. And in fact, I graduated in 4 years and was working a part-time commission-only sales job at a startup company that had an awful product that I was pre-selling. And guess what? I made 0 sales and I made $0 in commissions. I still had to make enough money to at least pay for food and gas at the time, so I applied for dozens of jobs, and I swear the only business that offered me a job and hired me was Dunkin' Donuts. That's right, I was pouring coffees for people at 5 in the morning with a finance degree from Elon University. Life comes at you pretty fast. Due to my injury in college, I still had 1 more year of eligibility left, so I ultimately decided to go back for a 5th year of baseball and take a few additional classes. And after that season had passed, professional baseball still didn't work out. So I went on applying for employment in the spring of 2016. I landed my first job as a business development representative for a tech company. I was making $35,000 per year, which honestly at the time seemed like a lot of money. Business development is a fancy way of saying I made 70 to 100 cold calls a day, trying to set appointments for sales reps. And it was miserable. For the first time in my life, I literally felt numb half of the day. Like, I wouldn't call it depression. However, days would pass by, I wasn't making much money, barely enough to save anything at all, and I stopped actively pursuing my hobbies and doing things that made me happy each day. I would wake up, punch in my time at work, contribute to my 401k, try to earn a promotion, hopefully, to make more money someday. And that, my friends, was my rude awakening to what is known as the rat race. I started watching a ton of YouTube content, reading a bunch of books, listening to podcasts. I was really just trying to figure out different ways to break free of the rat race. And honestly, I came upon this term called financial freedom and became obsessed with it, or in other words, financial independence. What this means to me is having enough money saved up or enough monthly cash flow from your investments or businesses to support your monthly living expenses or your desired lifestyle for the rest of your life without working 40 to 60 hours per week. I found that most people who achieved financial freedom at a young age did so through real estate in some way, shape, or form. So I started learning as much as I could about real estate and didn't know what I was going to do, but I was saving up enough money to hopefully put a down payment onto rental property. In the meantime, I focused at work to try and earn a promotion, which I ultimately got, and then I changed jobs 2 different times within just a couple short years, taking every advantage I could to boost my income. My way of thinking was the more I could boost my income, the more I could save and invest at a faster pace, because ultimately my living expenses did not increase that dramatically over those few years. So any promotion I got and additional income went straight to future investments. In 2019, I learned about short-term rentals and the profit you could make by putting properties on sites like Airbnb and Vrbo. I started to crunch numbers and realized the potential was honestly massive. And if you select the right market and the right property and set it up and design it effectively, you could cash flow thousands of dollars per month on a single property. In 2019, towards the end of the year, we got our first property in Nashville, Tennessee, which was a 4-bedroom home. This year, we're averaging over $6,000 per month net cash flow. That's after paying the mortgage, the cleaners, all the operational expenses. And this is why I love short-term rentals, because a single property can literally set you financially free. We were all in at this point. So while this is not financial advice, here's what we did next. My wife and I both liquidated our retirement accounts, our 401k, our IRAs, in the spring of 2020 to acquire our second short-term rental, also located in Nashville. This was a 2-bedroom condo, but it was closer to downtown. That property today has been averaging $6,500 per month cash flow. So these 2 properties are netting us over $12,000 per month in cash flow, which equates to over $144K per year. You can simply not get that type of cash flow or ROI with any other type of investment. Fast forward to the fall of 2020, we had saved up cash flow and some additional savings from work, and we bought our first place in Gatlinburg, Tennessee. And then in the spring of 2021, we partnered with somebody to buy our 4th 4th property, also located in Gatlinburg, Tennessee. We did rehab to both of these properties, added some amenities, and both of those properties cash flowed over $100,000 in the first 12 months of being live on Airbnb and Vrbo. We ultimately did a few cash out refinances on these properties, including the 2 that we did the rehabs on and one of the properties in Nashville. This enabled us to tap into the equity tax-free, pull out some money, and then move them into new investments. So what we did with the cash out refinances is we moved that equity into 2 new short-term rental properties in South Florida. Now, as you can see, things started to snowball far beyond my expectations, but that's the beauty of short-term rental and investing in real estate. Things can compound very quickly. Today, our 6 properties do over $80,000 per month on Airbnb and Vrbo, and our cash flow sits around $30K a month most months, but can be over $50,000 during the busier months of the year. My wife and I had a goal of becoming financially free in 10 years. We did it in less than 12 months and then quit our jobs in less than 16 months of making our first investment. We were able to travel the country in a camper van for a year and then bought our dream home here on a lake in South Carolina. It's honestly crazy to look back and see how the trajectory of our life changed so quickly. Here are a few tips if you're looking to achieve financial freedom in the next few years. Number 1, you have to create monthly income that is either passive or relatively passive. This leads me to point number 2, which is invest in cash flowing assets or businesses that have exponential growth. For example, real estate. The reason I say exponential growth is because the cash output is not directly correlated with the time that you put in. With real estate investments, you don't put in 40 hours per week for a set salary or set hourly rate. With each investment, your snowball grows a little bit bigger and a little bit faster, not just for the cash flow, but also your equity and your net worth. Point number 3, if your ultimate goal is financial freedom and it's not to work until you're 65 years old, I encourage you to reevaluate your current employment situation and your investment strategies. The faster you can boost your income, the faster you will be able to invest. And if your goal is not to retire at 65 years old, maybe a 401k plan is not the best option for you. If you're maxing out your 401k plan, especially if there is no employer match, then you'll end up working until you're 65 years old, more than likely. If you want to become financially free at a young age, you have to build monthly cash flow that you can access today or in the near future to then reinvest and compound and then grow that monthly cash flow so you get to a point where the cash flow exceeds your monthly living expenses. Point number 4 is you have to change the way you think about what is risky in life or change your perception of risk. I was so scared for the longest time to invest my money into anything, whether it be stocks or real estate. I was just scared to lose it. But what happens then? You either save it or you spend it. And if you save it, the cash just rots away in your bank account due to inflation. And if you spend it, it's gone anyways. The tipping point for me was thinking about what is truly risky in my own life. A lot of people like the security of a job with benefits. But what happens when you get laid off? It is possible regardless of how secure you think your job truly is. This has happened during 2020. We're seeing it happen right now in 2022. And I bet we'll continue to see it happen through 2023. So is it riskier to invest your money with the chances of becoming financially free in the next few years? Or is it riskier to play it safe and risk working a job that you may or may not care about for the next 30 to 40 years? When you think about it in that perspective, your mindset changes. Point number 5 is simply just to take action. Most people stay in the learning phase for years, if not for decades, assuming they have to know everything to get started. We all have that friend that is constantly talking about investing in real estate or some type of business, and they know it all, except for they don't actually have anything to show for it. Don't be that person. You will learn mostly through doing. Invest in yourself and take action. It's okay to fail along the way. One thing is guaranteed, that if you do not take action, which is nothing will change in your life. The only way you can get results is to actually take that first step. Now, if you want help specifically with short-term rentals and Airbnb and coaching from me and my team, definitely visit bnbinvestoracademy.com or see the link in the description below this video. I've helped hundreds of people start and scale a successful Airbnb business, and I'm sure we can help you reach and achieve your goals as well. And if you appreciated this video, please do me a favor if you haven't already, hit the like button below and certainly subscribe if you guys found value in this type of content. That's it for me, you guys. I'll see y'all soon.